Okay, so Disney Plus is live, and I just got done watching The Mandalorian. And because I'm a crazy Star Wars person and I'm watching this and everything else, I, of course, took notes. Okay, so it did say that this was Season 1, Episode 1, Chapter 1. So I thought it was weird, first of all, that it was 39 minutes. It was less than like a 42-minute kind of episode thing. But anyway, let's kind of get into something here. All right, here we go. Hey there, so it's Tom's Tech Show. I just got done. I did notice that, oh, gee, the Disney apps were starting to drop. And I'm like, well, if I go and log into this, is it going to let me watch anything? Or is it going to say content blocked until such and such time? Nope. Right away, I went to The Mandalorian, which is like the big thing in the front. I guess they're trying to get everyone to watch that right away. So I did. So the first thing, hold a minute. The first thing is this. Really, Disney? How much technology do you have? How much you could have brought something over from Hulu, anything, to provide me a URL and like a 6-digit code to go to a website to log in and activate my device. But no, I had to flipping type in my entire email and my entire password. Wouldn't be too much of a problem if I had simple passwords, but I don't. I'm an IT person, so I have like 20, 25 character passwords that are just everything. So I'm over here on the little codes button. I'm over here on the uppercase button all the time, going back and forth, jumping. Oh my gosh. It took literally like 10 minutes for me to get logged in. Maybe once the actual website is up, maybe that in the app might change, but it doesn't look like anywhere that it says go to Magic Link and help me log in or anything at all. Disney, that right there is a major fail in your app. So that's fix number one. There you go. Oh, in this picture, don't mind all the Tiggers down here. They're just, my wife has all these Tiggers and everything. Who knows? But anyway, so the episode starts. We get it that he's a bounty hunter. So he starts off collecting bounties. Oh, by the way, there will be, I don't even know if I have the little piece in here. There will be spoilers and everything else. I'm just going to be straight out talking about the episode. I have a spoiler thing somewhere. Let me see if I can add that on the fly. Image, let's see. Spoiler zone. Okay. There we go. We will bring this down here. And there we go. Okay. So this is all spoilery. I'm just going to talk about it just for fun. Okay. So, yeah, we get it in the beginning. He's a bounty hunter, right? He's doing bounty hunting, and we have introduction to some characters. There's a Greedo type character. There's some other character. The one thing I do have to say is somewhere around here. Okay, his ship looks a little bit too much like a cross between Firefly and Nell from Battle Beyond the Stars. Okay, it's really a lot like, a scaled down version of Firefly. But so that kind of bothers me to get out. And here you see on the screen, Season 1, Episode 1, Chapter 1. So I'm taking screenshots of my TV here just to be quick about it. But so that tells me that, yeah, there's going to be this episode 1's going to have multiple chapters. So this is new. We'll be introduced to that, and never does it say anything else. Then they have this other guy. I don't really remember his name or anything. I don't even know if they gave him a name. He has spoken, but his mouth does not. It irritated the crap out of me. His mouth does not match what his words are saying. So the mechanics, it's not a special effect. It's not a green screen or put dots on his face or anything. It's actual. I mean, it's nice that it's an actual physical effect, and the guy, I guess, inside is talking, and maybe his jaw is trying to work this mechanism, but it seems like the mechanism is failing like half the time and not really working, kind of thing. So I didn't know, that kind of took me out of it a little bit. So, and it's fairly, being only 40 minutes, and the beginning of it is the first bounty that he gets. So that takes up the first 5 minutes. And then there's a good 4 minutes or so of credits at the end. So we're really only talking about maybe 30 minutes. So, and we do some meandering, and then he has to go and try and make nice with this creature kind of thing, which takes too long. I thought it was kind of unnecessary because they got to ride this creature out there. It's like it's a mechanism for getting from point A to point B. So do we need to have a whole hero's journey of him trying to get on this creature? I thought that could have been skipped. Anyway, they do have this droid here, which is IG-11. And I thought he was cool. He's another part of the guild, bounty hunter guild kind of thing. And he spins and twists and shoots every which way. He's got eyes everywhere in the back of his head and everything. And he can shoot and spin every which way and shoot all over the place and take people out. You can see here in this picture, he's got the little red thing that's a thermal detonator that comes out because he's always trying, in the end, he's always trying to self-destruct himself. And everything, which I don't know if they meant it to be funny. I mean, I think they were trying to get it to be funny. I didn't laugh or chuckle or anything. I'm like, and after about 10 times, I kind of got, okay, he's going to try and, this is a joke now that he's going to destroy himself. Even though in the end, the Mandalorian, actually kills the other bounty hunter droid. Like I said, this is all the spoilers. So there's one part where after they get up to, I don't really have a picture of it, up to this spot, and the Mandalorian goes down to, look, and he has like a telescope, and I'm like, that seems a little hokey. You're hyper technical. This is like, you have all these hologram projectors and everything else, and he has this tiny little digital telescope thing. Why not just have a little thing on his helmet that just goes and pops down and then zooms in and out? I mean, or have it be inside his visor. He has a visor. You can have electronics in there. You don't need to pull out a telescope and hold it up to the visor, which just seemed really dorky to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. But I mean, the only character that I liked in the whole thing, IG-11, he gets killed in the episode. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be more episodes with him in it, with another one in it. Maybe next episode we'll get IG-22, because I know somewhere in one of the episodes there was an IG-88, because I have collector cards, Star Wars cards from the 80s and stuff that had an IG-88 in it. So, and in the end, so something about the music. The music seems like decidedly different and away from Star Wars. There's no big kind of horns or violins or anything that's really kind of in the music. I guess it would be okay if they actually had specific, theming of Mandalorian, like when he's on screen or something. But the music didn't seem like it was. They had a part where they were riding those little creatures across this big dried plain, and there was music, and I'm like, it just seems like generic music. It's like, go grab a CD and throw it in there, and play music. It didn't really seem like, let's have a specific theme for when they're traveling or when the Mandalorian's on screen or anything else. Like, the music was like, oh, we got this episode done. We need music. Let's put some music to it. So it just, it didn't add anything. Like, I was, you would hope that music would add, they try and have some dramatic music and whatever, but it's just not, it didn't really add anything for me. I mean, maybe it did for somebody else, but not me. So I'm trying to figure out. I mean, in the end, the one guy, asking him to go get this last bounty, says that he's 50 years old, and they get there, and it's a baby. It's a baby Yoda type thing, and then in the end, the Mandalorian runs off and takes the baby with him. So, could be a 50-year-old little baby Yoda thing. I don't know how old, because Yoda's, lives to be hundreds of years old, right? In the other movies, so that is possible that they're, a baby when they're 50. And it depends on how many years are they talking. Is their years lower, shorter, or longer than ours? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just it throws you off. It's a mechanism to throw you off. So when they actually get to the target, you're like, oh, I'm shocked and surprised. So, I'm like, okay, so now we're just flipping this around. It really didn't shock or surprise me. It's like, well, okay, this is what it is. And I'm trying. I mean, it's granted it's only the first, basically 30 minutes of the episode. The one problem I'm really having is I want to be able to create a connection to the Mandalorian character, and maybe this is going to come in, part 2 of chapter 2 or something, where. Because I think he needs, for everybody else in the universe, he doesn't need to take his helmet off. But I think in order to help connect with the character, I think he's going to have to. Out and about in public kind of thing, yeah, you need to have it on. It goes back to like the major thing I hated about, Star Trek when they had Geordi and he had his visor on. And even LeVar Burton even made comment of this at some point, sometimes, is that one of the biggest mechanisms that an actor can use to portray emotion, action, what they're feeling, what they're doing, is using their eyes and being able to, if somebody comes up and asks me and tells me something, and I go, then I'm thinking, I'm looking up, I'm going, or if I'm looking down, right? Maybe I'm sad or something like that, or if there's a noise and you look over to the side really quick, that means you watching this thing would automatically want to look, what's over there. Let's go see what's over there. It leads you to different parts of the story. And I don't know if they can put some type of little bit of eye mechanism somehow to, help. Even turning his head more, right, would garner some interest and all that. I mean, if he's going to play, a robot, then you might as well have this robot be doing it all, because if he's going to play non-emotional anything, in all of the sequences, then it's, it doesn't build that connection. I mean, that's what you want with the character. You want to be able to go say, oh, okay, I know this character. I mean, they did show a couple of minutes of, of a backstory kind of thing where he was on some planet and being, taken off, hiding from an attack and everything else, trying to escape from that. But that's not much of a backstory. That's like, okay, we get 30 seconds of that. I mean, I would think maybe giving, 5 or 10 minutes of a backstory into the first episode might help to build a connection, to the character. But we'll see. I think there were some scenes that we've been shown that haven't been put into the episode yet, where he does take his helmet off. And I know there's a big thing, like people don't want Kylo Ren to take his helmet off. It's like, I don't mind. I mean, I didn't mind when they took Darth Vader's helmet off for a little bit when he's kind of in private, right? If you're in private, I don't mind that, because that's where you build your audience connection. If, Kylo Ren can take it off when he's in private and, and doing different things that help create, that connection. Unfortunately, the Kylo Ren character is very shallow and connectionless and really didn't connect with me or anybody else that I know. But that's kind of the thing here. We need to be able to build this, extra connection. I mean, the shooting and the battles and everything else, that's good. But, they have, I think if he has no weaknesses, then that's going to be a problem. So we need to find out at some point, if he has a weakness. We need to find out, like I said, get him somewhere where he can take his helmet off and kind of create a connection to the audience. Like he's got to make himself a meal or do something like that. And he's got to take his helmet off and go around and cook and do something and maybe read some messages or do something like that. That will help create that bond, that connection. Did I like it? It was okay. I mean, am I giving it, I don't know, scale of 1 to 10? So far, I give it maybe a tentative 7. I mean, out of 10, I'm saying tentative because if the next, chapter 2, continues with so little dialogue. I mean, he talks so little in the whole thing, and that kind of gets. I mean, I know they're trying to create this atmosphere and this caricature that he's all about the business and he's all about that somebody walks in the room, so I pull my guns and that's the deal and start shooting people. I mean, that's not very deep. I need something deeper and granted, this is the first chapter of the first episode of the first season. So I'm hoping that as we go further down the next chapters, we'll find out a little bit more about his backstory, a little bit about what maybe failings he has or what things bother him. Maybe get something more about his backstory. Do something that creates a vulnerability somehow that, can give us, a failing and frailty helps connect with people because people have failings and frailty. Did it seem like it was a Star Wars thing? I mean, it had blasters. It had, of course, the bounty hunters. When he went to one of the buildings, it had the little greeting droid that, comes out like in Return of the Jedi at Jabba's palace. That's at the door. It comes out and talks to R2. That they had one of those in there. So I mean, they're throwing in things that are familiar, that would be things that would be in that universe, and but since it's not Force related, right? This isn't a show about the Force or how to use the Force or learning about the Force. Not that in the new movies learning is any kind of anything, but since this is the bounty hunter world, it's going to seem different and be different than being in the Force side of the world. Now, maybe at some point they'll come across some Force people that can use the Force, but at this point, no. But we'll see how that is living in the bounty hunter world. I mean, I really thought it was 7 out of 10. I thought that there is potential, but the lack of dialogue, the lack of connection to the character through the thing is what really bothered me the most. And we'll see. And the one guy's mouth that's in there, that his mouth was just not. I'm speaking and the mouth is, not going the same. And sometimes it would be correct and sometimes it wouldn't be. I mean, it would be better if it were always wrong. Then I would know, okay, he's kind of talks that way. But sometimes it was right, sometimes it was wrong. I don't know. All right. Well, that's kind of my thoughts so far on The Mandalorian. I'm sure the next chapter of the first episode of the first season. I don't know when. We'll have to see when the second chapter is going to drop. I hope it's more than. It should only be, I would think, a week away. But Disney Plus is live. Disney Plus is available. I do have my Roku app installed. I have the Android app installed. I didn't see it in iTunes yet, but it may be there. And I didn't see it on my Xbox yet. So that should be coming pretty soon. And then the web, right? The web won't be for another 3 hours, 4 hours, something from when I made this video. So, all right, we'll go watch it and comment on it. And I'm sure there will be, probably 1,000 videos. Some absolutely hating it, some absolutely loving it. So let's just get together. Wow, this video is already half as long as the episode was. Wow. Who creates more content? I don't know. I think YouTube does. All right. Well, thanks for watching this one. Take care.